Hi, welcome back to Cross Stitch the Globe. My name is Stephanie. This is the channel about cross stitch. Put that down. Allison is not here today. She texted me yesterday I needed a little mental health break, and I was like also dragging, so I didn't like, I was like, oh, you know when someone's like, oh, I have to cancel dinner, you're like, oh good, because I was gonna come but I didn't want to. Like we both needed a mental health day. So I'm filming on Monday, which is when I'm normally editing. So this video will probably show up like a couple hours late, but the type of video this is should be a breeze to edit, so it shouldn't affect that too much. My dryer is going, don't know if you can hear it, and it's insanely loud to me, but I think when I've edited videos where it's going in the past, I couldn't hear it. So I have 20 loads of laundry I need to do. So we're not stopping that. But for this is why I'm loopy. Okay, so this is channel about cross stitch. This is the Flosstube Extra. It was supposed to be our most expensive books. The research for that is done. So next week is a regular Flosstube. So then in 2 weeks will be most expensive books. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I did post an amazing needlepoint book that I found while doing the research for that, which is this, I'll put a picture of it. It's Rosie Greer's Needlepoint for Men. If you have a copy of this book, it sold multiple times last year for over $100, and also in like the high like 80s and 90s. And it just looks like an amazing book. So the research for that has been fun, and that won't make the list because it's a needlepoint book. But when I saw it, I was like, well, the world needs to see this. My generation. Some people have been like, oh, I remember that book, and that's so cool. But the book is 50 years old, so there's a lot of us who've never seen it before. And it looks amazing. And Rosie Greer apparently is living a very interesting life. He's 92 years old, so he is still with us. He was an NFL football player and a prominent, I think, Penn State college athlete. He was RFK Senior's bodyguard, and also received O.J. Simpson's confession, allegedly. And also was a huge needle pointer to the point where he got like a sock ad about like his socks being pretty as a picture because he was famous for needlepoint. And then also he also crochets and macrames. So anyway, just wanted to share that delight. So there, if you're really disappointed that the most expensive books episode is not today, there's some bookish information, but that video is research, so it's coming. We just needed to not film yesterday. Both of us independently needed to not film yesterday. But I did have something fall into my lap, so I thought it'd be fun to share it with you guys instead. So Allison and I's brother's girlfriend is like a very cool, thrifty entrepreneur. Like for Christmas, she gave all of us thrifted baskets full of handmade, homemade, and bartered goods. She and my brother are opening a charcuterie food cart company. Like it's launching this month. It's called the Cheese Cart. I will link to below if you're in the Oklahoma City area and need to hire a charcuterie food truck. I will link it below. But anyway, so she was at a thrift store. And she messaged me and said they were having a bag sale, and she like held something up and was like, is this the kind of cross stitch that you do? And I said, it is. And also when I get cross stitch, so the stuff that like maybe I personally won't have time to do, I like pass it on to members of the community, either through giveaways on my channel or our channel, or through D-Stash, so that like it doesn't sit in a dusty thrift store. It doesn't sit in a thrift store. No comment about the quality of that thrift store because I've never actually been there, but it doesn't sit in a thrift store. And also that way thrift stores know, like, take the cross stitch, put it out because people will buy it. So she asked me, I was like, where are you? I'll come down there. And she's like, no, I'll just get another bag. And so this entire bag from this bag sale is full of cross stitch books and some pamphlets. And it costs $5. And I haven't even paid her yet. So far it's free, but it was $5. And she and my brother dropped it off at my parents' house last weekend, and I picked it up on Saturday. So I thought, instead of waiting till next Flosstube, and I wouldn't even have time to go deep into this, I would just do a little vintage haul parade for you guys. I know some of you guys really like the vintage hauls. And some of these will go into my personal. The bag has a hole in it, which is because these books, because it's so heavy. Some of the stuff's gonna go into my personal stash, and some of this, like books are, I've never sold a book because books are like expensive to ship, so I've never even tried to de-stash a book. But some of these I'm sure will go into a future de-stash, and some of them will be in my collection, but they are all fun to look at. This book is actually, I think, a treasure. I'd never heard of it. We'll do that one first because that one is like really good. So yeah, so we got oh, and actually I already have either one or I think I have 2 copies of this book. I might have one and given one away. But anyway, so I definitely at some point I can't keep 3 copies of the same book. That's crazy. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cross stitch books. Oh, no. One of these might be about lace making. I don't remember. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, these 7 cross stitch books. Oh, one of these designs. I'm definitely keeping this one. Okay. A lot of cross-stitch pamphlets, like, but they're not really pamphlets. They're really like booklets, the kind that hold multiple patterns. One of these is lace making. There's something in here about lace making, and lace making is obviously going to go into my de-stash. And then this one book, which I think I might read because it sounds interesting. Creative Cash, How to Sell Your Crafts, Needlework Designs, and Know-How. Originally published in the, I think it was originally published in the 60s or 70s. I looked at the copyright when I was looking through it originally. Let's see. So it's by it's by Barbara Brabick. Originally published in 1979. This version is from a copyright of 1993. So I think that would be kind of fun to go through because I was talking to my mom about it, and it's like, obviously, like I sell cross stitch patterns, my own cross stitch patterns, and then I have fun thrifting cross stitch patterns and then admitting to myself I can't keep them and de-stashing them. And then like we run a cross stitch channel. So, and I am a travel photographer. Like there's a lot of things in my life that are like craft, like, and I'm a writer. So like, I guess my entire life is supported by money I make from crafting in some form or another. I know people don't really think of photography as crafting always, but it's creative. And my degree from college is in creative writing. So I thought it might actually be interesting because I do all my stuff online. I'm so online, like my travel blogs are online. So it might be interesting to see like what people were doing in the 70s and 80s to like, get stuff out there. And maybe 1 or 2 of those ideas would be something I'd want to adapt to my own endeavors. So, but we're not going to go through that book. If this book is really good and has like tips that might be fun, we might go through it. But for now, I haven't read it yet. And it's like literally a book you read. Okay. So let's start with this Vanessa-Ann Victorian cross stitch because this book took my breath away. Like I had never, all of these books are by like Vanessa-Ann or Alma Lynn or Paula Vaughn. Like this is a very romantic-y, springtimey feeling collection of books. And but I'd heard of Vanessa-Ann. I have other Vanessa-Ann books, but I had never seen this book. Oh, you know what? I didn't even say, we have 3 kinds of videos on our channel. This is an extra. Obviously, this is a crazy tangent into like a personal flight, a fancy of mine. Our regular Flosstubes are every other Monday. So next Monday will be a regular Flosstube. And then on Thursdays, we come out with tutorials. My mental health break also included not being able to get any tutorials out lately, but there will be one on Thursday on how to grid with a marker, I promise. People were commenting on old Okay, so my light needs to be charged for some reason, and I didn't charge it, so we don't have light. But we had light for the picture, so that's great. Okay, so people were commenting on old tutorials, and I was like, I need to start making them again because they are they're helpful, and people don't like watch them the day they come out. But if we don't put them out, then they won't be there in the future. So I'll get back to it. All right, so this Victorian cross stitch. Vanessa-Ann's Victorian cross stitch. I'm not saying that like I haven't seen beautiful floral patterns. That's not what I'm saying at all. Obviously, I've seen many a beautiful cross stitch floral pattern, but I was going through this and there's something about the projects in here that really felt just different. It's just a different take on flowers, like, and you know, they're finished in different, that beautiful edge, they're finished differently. They're I just really enjoyed it. So like, okay, so far okay, let me actually tell you what I'm gonna spend the most time in this book because I'm obsessed with it, and then the other books I'll show more like quickly. Okay, so this first project is Iris Afghan. So the iris pattern just repeats itself, obviously, so you could just do it once or many times. This next one is Flowery Footstool. And you've got that sweet little border. So like, this is interesting because usually a drum, like for a pillow, you put the picture on top, or for a drum, you put the picture on the side, but it's more narrow. But for this, it's almost like a tire where the tire is stitched. It's really interesting. And you just alphabet bell pull. Again, bell pull's not groundbreaking, and alphabets aren't groundbreaking, but there's something about this that's very different. Okay, Sylvan Sprites dresser tray. There's also like a quality of the finished pieces and the photography in this book that's really like very good. Elegant table scarf on black. That is just like insane. All right, this is the fanciful floral cushion that I already showed you, but I didn't know the name of it. Really beautiful. And I gotta say, like, the 90s are like so back that I'm looking at my garage sale furniture that I bought from the 90s and being like I bought it a few years ago when it was so out, and I was like, actually, I think I just want to get it recovered and refinished. I don't think I hate the shapes anymore because the 90s are crazy back. Okay, Starbright stocking. That's just so pretty. Let me look up a copyright date on this. 1993. This is called Sweet Blossoms. I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to stitch, but I just love looking through this. Pillow Pleasures. And the florals on the black. It's like almost out of a kit. It's like, it's so good. But I could see it like on like a Dimensions kit or something. Shaped Pillows, which is a funny name, but I think those has a little bit of Hardinger in there or something to make the eyelets on those pillows. Let's see. They're called Cluster Blocks, which I think is Hardinger, right? Pleated velvet pillow. Oh, it's so sumptuous. It's so good. Like, it's so good. I don't know, there's something about it. It feels like these were not finished with the idea that they would just be like photographed quickly and moved on. There's something extra level of care, and like these projects, the finishing on them is so elevated. Like, look at this hem stitched pillow. And I'm not saying that other books don't care about that, or even other Vanessa-Ann books don't care about that. But there's something about this where I'm like, whoever has these objects in their home was like, oh, it's so good. All right, butterfly pillow, which is not because it's a butterfly, but because it's the shape of the pillow, which is not a, this is so 90s. And like I want to watch TGIF and like have a bowl of, I don't know, what's one of those cereals, you know how like some cereals get discontinued? Okay, Royal Rose pillow, which I already showed you guys, but that's the actual name of it. Obsessed, like obsessed on the like red velvet. Obsessed. I might need, I don't know. I'm obsessed with this. Okay. Beaded monogrammed pillow. So, you know, the Runner Stitcher and Dace, they have their stitch. I don't remember Dace's full channel name. And one time I went to link his full channel name and he had taken it off, but I think he's back. So I will link to their channels, but they do projects that are sometimes fully beaded, but this is fully beaded. And obviously you wouldn't have to fully bead it. You could stitch it, but that is fully beaded. And they have the alphabet so that every you could do any letter. What kind of beads? It calls for, it's on Aida. No, I like how the fabrics call for Aida 14, 16 counts, but the sample is stitched on linen because that is not, that is a 32 count linen. It's so crisp. Complete design on cream Belfast linen. It calls for 15 250 count packs of Mill Hill beads. So that is 3,250 Mill Hill beads. That's crazy. This is a quatrefoil medallion pillow. Oh, it's so good. Framing Springs Art. Oh wait, that's the name of this section. Okay, this is Wood Nymphs. This is more kind of like typical 90s. It's still done really well, but more of the like, okay, I've seen that before. There's, you know, whereas what we've been looking at up till now is like, been like, okay, that's a floral, and I know I see florals all the time, but there's something about it. This one is called Splendid Blossoms. And it's on like a antique green linen. This is called Be Mine. Like, oh, if you wanted something that was like a very mature Valentine's Day, romantic Victorian Valentine's that wasn't necessarily, I don't know, it's you know, different. Oh, this is called Trellis Roses. This is nuts. I could like literally own, like if everything else was taken away from me and I had this book and a bunch of 32 count linen and some DMC, I think I'd be okay. I mean, I wouldn't like love it. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like, it wouldn't make me, I wouldn't be happy about it, but I would find so much joy in so many of these projects. This is called The Garden Party. And this is interesting because we got bunnies, but the rest of it is so unassuming. Like you wouldn't, it's just so fanciful in the middle, but the whole, I just love it. Summer's Hummers. It's little hummingbirds. Oh, I've never seen this book before. I did not look it up to see how much it goes for. It, you know, could be one of those books that's like $4 on eBay. I have no idea. I'm obsessed. If you're interested in it, definitely go look it up because this is not going in any stash ever. This is called Arborist Pastels. This book is gonna live with me for a long time. Now, when do I actually stitch from it? I don't know. But if I just flip through it every 6 months, I'd be happy. The Goose Girl. Come on. Like it's so 80s, 90s geese, but like just a little bit elevated. Okay, this next section is called Tokens of Affection. Here we have Heavenly Scents. These are those little like potpourri balls that you put in satchels that you put in sachets. You put in drawers and things. That's like how they have it finished, but obviously you don't have to finish it that way. This is just called Box Band. And the pattern is this down here, which is interesting. It's also just interesting, like, to think about, like, okay, the objects that I have that I think of as like, oh, I could finish it into that. What happens if you invert it? Crystal jar lids. Lacy hearts. When I was going through this, I showed my mom this one. I was like, this is the most 90s thing I've ever seen. But in like a good way, like the palette, the lace around, like I feel like I owned an object exactly like that. There's a couple projects I'm skipping because they're just like very obvious things. Oh, beaded brooches. So those are fully beaded. Hat band border. For your little, you know, like in my family, that would be like an Easter bonnet or something. And then this. Okay, these sewing accessories. I've never seen a stitch scissor case. Pin cushion or needle book pin cushion. I've never seen a scissor case. And so even though those aren't my colors, it's not exactly, I was looking at the construction, like I was like, should I start this? But I took away more from it, like I wouldn't want to do that exact colors but I never thought about stitching a scissors case before. And so now I'm like, okay, that's so definitely on my radar. And the shapes and everything that I need are in this book to do it. I just would maybe like chart something different for it. Is that the end? Yes. Okay. So that was Vanessa-Ann's Victorian cross stitch. Obsessed, like fully obsessed. Okay, I have shown you guys the Romance of Paula Vaughn before on my channel when I have picked it up because I got it. I've gotten it a couple times. I will just show you basically what it is it's 6 paintings of hers that have been turned into multiple projects. So there'll be the cross stitch pattern, then there'll be like how to put it on a t-shirt or whatever. So it's only actually 6 cross stitches, so I'll show you those. But if you like the pictures and you like doing like other quilting and painting and things, there's more interpretations of the pictures. And also there's some like real life and hat bands and baskets. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Like the blanket in it is crocheted. So if you like the pictures and you like painting on sweaters, I don't know. There's drying flowers. Like there's a lot going on in this book. And I know that I have multiple copies. This is at least my 2nd copy and might be my 3rd copy because I don't think I ever got rid of the 2nd one. Like, so I probably will eventually put it up for destash. It's just that they're not very expensive books, but the shipping makes it really expensive. So it's not like, I haven't really destashed the books just because the shipping gets crazy. Okay, this is called Thoughts of Spring. And I am going to start a Paula Vaughn in April. The one I'm starting is actually from a magazine. But I have a ton of Paula Vaughn patterns. I love Paula Vaughn stuff. I don't know anything about her, like, story or anything. I'm not, as an artist, I don't know anything about her. So I am not, like, or Vanessa-Ann or any of these people. You know, like, sometimes you... Okay. So I don't know anything about her, like, personally or anything. So, but it just in terms of, like, the artwork, I love it. And I saw a Polyvon at the, like a finished Polyvon at the state fair, and it came in 6th place. And if I stitched and backstitched an entire Polyvon and it came in 6th place, and a Teresa Winsler in a different category, they weren't competing against each other, came in 2nd place. If I stitched an entire Teresa Winsler Dragon Castle sampler and it came in 2nd place, I would simply burn the place to the ground. Not really, but gentle pastime. How pretty is that? Obviously, I would not burn the state fair to the ground, but I would come on this channel and complain. Okay, I'm not going to show you all the projects that are not the cross stitch projects, but that's crazy. I've looked up this book before, and this book is not that expensive. And is, obviously, if I've come across 3 of them, it's a pretty common book. There's a lot going on in this book. Delicate Beauties. And you've got the flowers, and I think in the hoop is like of a quilt being quilted by hand. So good. And I think the instructions on how to make that quilt are in this book. Yeah, here's that quilt's come to life. They just like the level in these books, like the amount of work that would go. Oh, look, that is part of it is stitched on this sweater. Just the level that would go into this stuff is crazy. Image of the Past. Okay. I definitely had a mom who painted ribbons on our dressers and such when I was little. I should almost do it again. Paint some ribbons on my daughter's dresser. What's funny is her dresser is a dresser that I had in high school. And my parents saved at their house and we gave it to my daughter who's 2. So like it's a white wicker dresser. It's very plain, but I don't think it would do good with like stenciling on it, but it would be funny to paint it. But then my dresser currently is a French provincial style dresser from the 60s that was my mom's, but it's yellowed and you can't redo the finishes on them well because they're laminate. So people do flip them, but if I want to like redo it, it's going to be like a whole thing. I can't just like, you know, you can't like get to hardwood on underneath it. It's like, and I really like the style that it's in. So one day I would love to get it like prettied up and kind of redone, but in the same French provincial style. I'm not really, I like it. Summer Comes Calling. So Polyvon has all these porch scenes. The one I'm going to do is a porch scene, but it's more of a, it's got a fiddle in it. Although I might switch to this one. I'm really liking this one. That's either the last or the second to last. Yeah, that was the last one. So that was The Romance of Polyvon. Not an expensive book. I know it's out there if you're looking for it. Just getting it shipped to you is expensive. Okay, quick and easy cross stitch gifts. This is from The Joys of Cross Stitch, a series from Oxmoor House. Oh, let me tell you the years on these, if I can. No, I can't on that one. I actually can't tell you the year on that. On this one, this is from 1991. My hands are gonna be so dry after flipping all these pages. Okay, this says gifts for the home, 4 seasons. Oh, that's so good. Part of why I let myself keep all the cross stitch books I want is, one, they're very easy to store on a shelf, and like they're, you know, I could also like use them as decor too if I wanted to. Whereas it's hard to use like a bunch of leaflets as decor. But also, like, I feel like some of the motifs and things that are in booklets that I'm like, would love to stitch, but I know I don't have time to stitch and I pass those on. It's like a bunch of those motifs will be in here. So if I just keep this one thing, I get a lot, like I have a lot of things. Like I could, you know, there's so many good like 4 seasons options. Okay, this one's called Vegetable Squares. Oh, flower basket. These are pretty. Am I? Oh, okay. Look at that one. That is so pretty. So this is 3 different little basket sets. They're like 50 by 50. I'm gonna skip. Okay, so like we got 5 books left. I'm not gonna show you every single thing. I'm gonna show you the things I really like. Oh, these little autumn welcome squirrels. Yeah, if I went through the 2 that I like the best really closely, and I'll go through the other ones to show you the highlights. Because otherwise we'll be here a really, really long time. And some of the ones in this book are a little more just like, yeah, you see it a lot. If you like vintage stuff, you see it a lot. Oh, Spring Blossom Trio, more little basket. I'm obsessed with these little baskets. Like, look at that one. These are different than the ones that were on the other page. So you've got a lot of little baskets. These are very cute. I could see myself stitching these. Floral hearts. Why do I love vintage cross stitch patterns so much? And I get so much inspiration and joy from looking through them, even when they're not the thing that I choose to stitch. Like, even if I know I'm going to stitch, you know, something that's in my stash that is newer, the amount of inspiration that I get looking at these, I don't understand. It's like, it's so much greater than just the feeling that I get looking at them. Or that doesn't make sense. I don't know what I'm saying. But just I truly love the act of looking at old cross stitch patterns. And like sometimes I'll buy like a bundle of cross stitch patterns on eBay or something that's like, if I get if like there's like $6 and there'll be like 20 cross stitch patterns in them. And I love looking through them so much. Even if I know like ultimately most of them are gonna leave, like just getting to see them is really fun. Ooh, here's a bookmark called Autumn's Gifts. It's very pretty. And I just love that these were just sitting in a shop and now we get to talk about them. And they're, you know, like, they're so much more than just, and like the fact that so many people think they're not valuable and just like throw them away or, you know, don't even put them out in their stores. It just, that's crazy. Like some of these books probably had wide enough circulation that it's not like they're like lost. There are definitely patterns that are lost. Like geometric pin cushion. This is giving me Drawn Bread vibes, to be honest. Did you see this last time? My mom's a dental hygienist. I mean, she wouldn't have ever stitched anything for a boss, but it'd be so funny to be like, receive this as a dentist unless it was from like, I don't know. Oh, when I posted that picture of the needlepoint book, my aunt commented that my mom's dad, my grandfather, but I never met him, used to, no. Not her dad, her grandfather. So my great-grandfather used to needlepoint, which is very cool. Look at this Posy alphabet. And this little scissor covers for your shears of all kinds, all dimensions. And then obviously for the Posy alphabet, you have the whole alphabet and you can stitch it on anything. Oh, I should stitch it on my like a little dress for my daughter, a little M with some posies. Oh. And that's the kind of thing where, I mean, how long does that really take you? Like 2 hours? I am running into a lot of backstitched full phrases, and it's very rare when that I will see like full backstitch words and be like chill with it. There's one pattern that is a little fat shamey. It says, "He who indulges bulges." Very cute pig. Maybe would lose the words. Oh, welcome, little one. I wasn't stitching when my kids were born. Oh, this is really pretty. There's a lot of patterns on this page. Mother's Day, 1989, but obviously you could put any year. And they have 1991 in the actual chart. Baby things. Oh, little lambs. So much fun. You know what's fun too? Like every time a market pattern comes out, I have to like look at it and evaluate. Like, do I want it? Would I stitch it? But with like a book like this or like picking stuff out at a thrift store, I don't feel a lot of pressure. Like I need to decide if I'm gonna stitch it or not before I just grab it, or before I tell someone, yeah, grab it for me. Because it's like, so I get to enjoy the process of just like appreciating the art and the like artistry that went into the book or the patterns or the old magazine or whatever. And I don't feel that same like overwhelm of, oh God, I gotta stitch it, or I can't look at it. So there's something like a lot more peaceful for me about just appreciating these old patterns for what they are. And whereas like if something comes out from a designer I really like, I feel like a lot of pressure to be like, well, is that the one I'm going to stitch or not? And you know, we can't stitch everything. I'm looking at a wall of like 3 rows of project bags. It's like, I can't stitch everything. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to, oh. I love these little weird shaped ducks. Oh my God. It's called Father's Day Duo. But like, there's something about the way they're shaped. Oh, they're green winged teal ducks, right? Yeah. This pair of mirror image cross-stitch ducks will add a finishing masculine touch to the study or den of that special man in your life. If he's a hunter, he may have to hang this pair in his trophy room. It's so 80s, 90s, like, but they're amazing. But can we enjoy them as like wildlife and not as trophies, please? Thank you. Gorgeous though. Oh, there's so many good bird patterns. Oh, happy Hanukkah. Very beautiful. I like the lettering. I don't mind when lettering is cross stitch and then back stitch outline with like lots of like back stitch flourishes. It's when the entire thing is back stitch where I'm like, that's different. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Christmas Village. It's like a little motif surrounded placemat is their FFO of it, but you could do it in any way. Okay. Oh, Peace on Earth sampler. And they have it as the sampler, and then they have it just pulled out as motifs. That's pretty. Okay, This is not groundbreaking. I've seen this a bunch of times, but I do love it every time I see a Christmas light. Strand border of some kind. I do love it. I'll never get sick of it. May never stitch it, but I will always enjoy looking at it. Christmas and welcome coasters. That's kind of neat. So that's the Christmas and that's the welcome, but those are interesting. I don't know. I don't think I'd make coasters out of them, but I do actually like that. Oh, and I love a good Noel picture. That one's pretty. All right, so that was quick and easy cross stitch gifts from the joys of cross stitch. All right, what we have left is two almolins, and a Vanessa-Ann, and then a 101 quick cross stitch. All right, so this is another Vanessa-Ann. I like it. It's just, for some reason, that other one was like magical to me, and this one is good, but not the same level. To me personally. Oh, do you guys like my new painting? I finally, so I got this at a thrift store. This picture was 50 cents, and it's hand painted. I'm gonna sell it on my secondhand shopping, like on the, because I'm doing my secondhand shopping channel, and I'm opening an Etsy resale shop if Etsy ever opens it. I decided I just couldn't part with it. It was 50 cents and this frame was $5 and it's like a hardwood frame. And I didn't even like tape it in there or there's no like point in there or anything. I just literally just like, it's just leaned to the wall, but I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Okay. The best of Vanessa-Ann cross stitch collection. I'm not going to show you guys every picture in here. I will show you the highlights again because we're 42 minutes in and I think I'm only cutting out 1 minute of me saying stupid things and leaving the other stupid things in. Okay. Oh, this was sweet. This is called A Gift from the Heart. I really like that. And not very big. That would not take you very long. This is called Folk Sampler. He worketh cloth from flax and wool. She drives her geese before the dawn. With hearts content, their lives they weave. In morning's laughter, evening song. Very precious. I don't think I do the whole thing, but I like the little house with the mountains in the middle, and I could totally see doing that. Oh, this was cool. Wedding keepsakes. Like this could have been in the other book. It's so good. I've never, and like you put it on like your bridal bouquet. I would not personally, well, as someone who's getting my second divorce, I would use it for something else, but it's very pretty. This is called I Love You. It's spectacular. Woo. Oopsie daisy. My son does not like Cupid's. This is called Special Delivery Cupid. But I do like that. The finishing in this one is really good too. Oh, okay. This one's called Bunny Bouquet. It's amazing. It's so good. I'm already doing my Easter piece for this year, but this one deserves to be on the list. Bountiful Harvest Table Runner. Spectacular. Would also be fabulous as a pillow, but that is like a first class pumpkin right there. Glorious Nativity. I actually really like, a lot of times the fabric choices in old ones and old books can really date the piece. And I do think the brown dates the piece, but again, I'm fully on board now with the 90s being back. And so I like this. I now really enjoy that combo. No Time to Spare. It's an Alice in Wonderland rabbit. Floral Tapestry Trio. This could have been another Vanessa-Ann book. This is spectacular. And the color choice of the fabric. Am I stitching this on black? Hell no. But it looks spectacular and it looks so 90s in a way that is nuts. Maybe I should stitch flowers on black or stitch them on white, but wait a minute. That's not on black. That is full coverage. Okay. I could handle that better. Stitching the black in. I mean, it would take a lot longer than stitching it on black, but I could at least see it. Maybe next year I need to say no new starts unless it's from one of these two books because, oh, Birds and Flowers. Again, birds and a floral wreath is a groundbreaking? No, but like, it's so good. And also I feel the use of oranges in this is a little groundbreaking. And the color blocking, actually, the color blocking I feel like is a little different than you normally see in one of these. I really like it. I'm on board. Autumn Beauty. I said that kind of strangely. Autumn Beauty. I said it because in my head I was like, wait, is it Bounty? And so halfway through I like changed my vowels. Christmas Towels. I don't know Vanessa-Ann. I mean, I have other books by her, but I don't know anything about it or if it's even like a real person, but they're very good. I love this. Happy Easter. I just love it. I might be somebody who ends up with a really big Easter display. And I never, okay. Trigger warning. I knew this was in one of these 4 books, but I didn't remember which one it is in. Trigger warning. This book came out, like we said, did I say what year this one was? This book came out in 1992. There is a set of patterns called Patriotic pillows. There are a sample for Liberty pillows, sample for Stars and Stripes pillows, samples for the South's pillows. For the Liberty flag pillows, a lot of those flags have now been co-opted. And so I'm not going to bother showing any of this page because I feel like a lot of the Liberty flags have been co-opted by like radical violent groups and then also like we have moved past pretending that the flags that represent former breakaway republics from the United States were, we've just moved past glorifying them. So if you get this book, there is a lot of good stuff in it. And it's the 90s, so I'm not going to put any kind of politics on anybody who made this book because in 1992, the world was different. But if you're buying this book in 2025, trigger warning, And also, don't stitch it. And if I sold this book, I would literally rip these pages out because we're just in a very different place. The the Stars and Stripes ones are very pretty. And it includes like a Union Jack and the Stars and Stripes, but like just so much American imagery has been co-opted by people who do not have American ideals in their hearts. And so we just gotta move past these patterns. But I know, I was 8 when this book came out. I know what the world was like then, and we're just in a different place now. Okay. Now to something delightfully frightening. This is called Bewitching Windsock. And if you really like vintage stuff and you like thrifting things, you just will come across things where you're like, I can't believe that person has that in their booth in the year of our Lord 2025. And there is a fine line for some people between like what is like acknowledging what happened versus what is glorifying things. So like, this book is going to sit in my house, but like if my kids came and asked me about it, I would have to say some hard truths. This book has some amazing Santas though. Like it has a whole bunch of good Santas. Okay, that's Kris Kringle. This is Père Noël, and that is really good. Oh, this is Father Ice. I'm like very into these Santas. Ooh. This is St. Nicholas, and he's got his bear. Kanaka Loka. I don't know if there's a place, I don't know anything about this version of Santa Claus, if there's like a story or what it's from, but Kanaka Loka. And I can't even place the language. Wait, this is Father Frost. Is it Hawaiian? I don't feel, okay, now I feel crazy that I feel like I'm supposed to know and I don't. Kanaka Loka. Yeah, there's palm trees. I'm thinking of the song. I'm like, is that, so maybe it is Hawaiian. Okay. But again, I'm not 100%. Wait, this is Santa Claus. Oh, I like this one. Royal Alphabet. Oh, this is an apple wreath, and this apple wreath is really pretty. The Great Outdoors. Okay. So that was the Best of Vanessa-Ann cross stitch collection. And before we go on, I just want to say, I skipped a lot of patterns in some of these books. And the reason I did not skip those patterns and decided to go ahead and still talk about it, and I knew it was in one of these books and I was going to mention it, is because I'm showing you guys these, and I know some of you guys will be excited and want to buy it. And you might like go look up on eBay or whatever. And so I wouldn't want someone to buy something like that and then have a like traumatic or even like minorly traumatic experience, because you know, I have biracial children. It jumped out at me. So, and I can only imagine if you have even like, if you have different background than me, that it might even jump at you more. And so I was obviously going to say something. And if you are somebody who feels like they don't know why I would need to make a big deal of it, that's okay. But I would just, you know, it is a problem to some people to have imagery like that. And also when we stitch something, we don't just like look at it. We spend 100 hours with some of our projects. So if we're stitching something like that, we're committing to it. And I wouldn't want someone to, you know, I mean, if you pick up that project in 2020, if you stitch that in 1992, or even like, you know, like that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about in the year of our Lord, 2025, what we're doing and where we're going. And that's not it. But the rest of those patterns are beautiful, and I am not without it. I don't have any other knowledge of that designer. So I'm not like denigrating the fact that it's there. I'm telling people if you buy it in 2025, you should know that it's there. Okay. Alma Lynn's Country Cross Stitch. All right. So I have 2 Alma Lynn books. These are very country cross stitch, very 90s, 80s. What was the year on this one? 1990. It seems like almost like whoever bought these and donated into that thrift store, it's like they bought everything within like a couple of years, and then they spent the rest of their stitching time stitching on those same projects from those same books. Oh, Vanessa-Ann Bunny Hatch. Oh my goodness. Oh, Alphabet Bunny. Let's see, can I show you guys that? Having to. The faceless bunnies is interesting. Happy. Oh, when I saw this, I thought of Allison and Jared instantly. Happiness is being married to your best friend. Like, she doesn't have a lot of Easter decor. I could totally see this being out in her house as Easter decor. A lot of backstitch letters. Oh, this is sweet. It's called Hannah and Snowball. And it's a little girl and her cat. Oh, I love this one. It's called I Love Cross Stitch. If my daughter ever decides to cross stitch with me, I could see stitching that for her and changing like the hair and the skin so that it looked like a little Molly. If she ever cross stitches with me, I swear I'll probably just start bawling like that day. Did I tell you guys that my son brought home the Giving Tree twice? So I brought home the Giving Tree from school. We read it. I cried. He said, like, why are you crying? I'm like, because the boy left his mom. The tree. The boy left the tree, but then he came back. He's like, don't cry. And then he brought it home again because he wanted me to cry. All right, this one's called Country. Oh, no, the section's called Country Christmas. I don't know what that pattern is called yet because this is the cover for the section, but that's very sweet. The little girl looks like Samantha, the American Girl doll. Oh, there was a project in this that I really thought was interesting. Okay, so this is called, these are called chimney socks. So these are not stockings. These are little, like flower vases. I don't know if they have water or not. I don't know like how you keep your flowers alive in them. But they're called chimney socks. But you know how like there's a million stocking patterns that come out and you're like, I would love to stitch that one, but you can only have so many stockings. What a good idea for picking another one and finishing it as like something else, but it's in a way that it can still be part of your Christmas decor. I really liked that. So I don't know if I would ever stitch that exact pattern, but I love the finishing idea. Okay, this next one is called Worldly Gig Santa, and he is terrifying. Those are unacceptable arms. It's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. No, those arms are, no. The stocking, these are the stockings for the book. But also it's a great way for them to get extra stocking patterns in there because you could easily do those other ones as stockings. Okay, so Memphis Sarah E bought a pattern from my D-stash, and she said like part of what she liked about it was a goose. So Sarah, look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So good. Holiday goose. And the goose is pulling the presents. Kris Kringle, a green Santa. I know people love when the Santas are blue or green. Green Santa. Oh, I like this old-fashioned Merry Christmas sign with the candle. And also that would take like almost no time. That is not many stitches. I mean that, you know, that's like, the letters are like, I guess it would take longer. Okay, and the way they're constructed is interesting. So it's got, oh no, this book uses what looks like a half stitch to be a color. I don't like it. Okay. No, that's confusing. Okay, but I like that pattern. Oh, I like this little American flag flower right here. That's interesting. I haven't seen that before. And that would be a really quick little patriotic finish. And how cute would that be as like a pillow? Priscilla Francis Whithanky. I don't understand the name of this, but that's what it is. Very cute on top of this drum. No, it's on top of a hat box. All right. All right. This video is longer than I thought it was gonna be. But I have too much to say about them. Okay, this is Alma Lynn's cross stitch for special occasions. It looks like this. It was published in the year 1993. Okay, not suggesting you stitch this, but I love how in the 80s and 90s, they really were looking for a way to get cross stitch into every part of the house. In the bathroom, I don't know what, you know, it's like we also had like carpets and stuff on the toilets. Like, no. Oh, kitchen cozies. Love the Delft blue color palette of these. Very country. Sewing table and pincushion. I do love that. I love that. lot of just like fully backstitched pieces that I'm skipping over. A lot of backstitch. Like a lot of signs are like, you were looking like a graduate, like 50 years of marriage, but it's like mostly backstitch. Okay, this next section is called Love and Cherish. We're getting back to the good stuff. Okay, a very special couple. Very sweet. A rose monogram on the jar. No, don't do wedding place cards cross stitch. That's too much work. Just don't do that. Oh, okay. Allison would have died if someone gave this to her after Beauty and the Beast came out. Like that's a cross-stitched rose on the back of a mirror. She would have just died. A lot of backstitch words in this book. Holiday treasures. Okay, mini holiday tree skirts. We have Easter, Christmas, Halloween, and 4th of July. But the cool thing is if you had a book like this, you could just get the measurements and the finishing instructions for them and then do a different pattern on them if you didn't like the pattern they had. Oh, I love you in ribbon letters on top of a gingham pillow. Okay, we're in the instructions. All right, that was Cross Stitch for Special Occasions by Alma Lynn. All right, last book, 101 Quick and Easy Cross Stitch Projects. Looks like this. Starts off strong with a cross stitched apron. This is by needlecraftshops.com. It has a .com on it. Copyright 2001. Y2K cross stitch, a little different era. All right, all around the house. We got some nice spread. And they're called Iris Studies. Coffee break. Safari pillows. Watermelon summer. So I have some of these towels that you stitch. I never will do that. I will never stitch on those towels. I tried to de-stash some ones and nobody bought them. I think I'm just literally going to use them as towels, which I've done in the past when I didn't realize people sometimes still bought them. Because like I would never do this, but it's cool and you can do it on something else. Feather family, some chickadees. I don't know why I said chickadees, like I'm talking to my children. Hummingbird coasters. So I'm filming on my phone, but it's ringing on my iPad. And if I hang up on my phone, it will stop the video. So that's where we are. Okay. How Y2K 90s are these like sun and moon? Like this is good. Like I think I had a tarot deck with like that wrapping paper on the outside of the box. Like it's so, they're good. That pattern is called Celestial Dreams. Lighthouses. Now, these patterns are by different people in this book, so that's why you're kind of getting a mix of styles, which I kind of enjoy. Just a little different. Okay. I'm not showing you this to show you the pattern, but look at the finish on that. That's crazy. Okay. Also, I actually love this pattern. I think the ducks are cute. But look at the accompanying artwork. Guys, we were not, no, this is adorable. This little duck stitched onto his overalls is precious. It's that duck. That's precious. Guys, also, no, absolutely not. No. Not the pattern, the pattern's fine. The whole thing is crazy. Sorry. There's a lot of patterns in here that are not, you know, they're just patterns. They're not remarkable. They're not anything, but I want to show you guys the really good ones or the really strange ones. I do like Noel. There's almost no Noel that I will see that I will be against. Oh, this Patriotic checkers. And I think this is a Sudbury tray. And I think if you saw the giraffe that I bought at a thrift store that was finished in a tray, I think it was in a Sudbury tray. Very cool. We were putting ducks on everything. This is called wild ducks. Now, these are not my favorite ducks that I have shown you today, but just we as a people like to put ducks on things. And I don't know if we know that about, I think stitchers know we love birds, but I don't know if Americans understand that, like, we as Americans put a lot of ducks on things. Oh, I like this. I like that apple. Bookmark, little teacher present. Okay, I do think the finish on that is very sweet. All right, so that was 101 quick and easy cross stitch projects. I obviously didn't show you 101 patterns because we'd be here forever. But okay, now let's get into the booklets. This is the Little Ballerina. Aww. We have a kitten and a cat. They're so cute. Crazy. Leisure Arts originally sold at Walmart. Just crazy. Teddy Noel. So this is a bunch of like little patterns. This is by Count on Cappy. Those two will probably end up in my de-stash drawer, but this one probably will not, because I love every single thing about this, but I love this and I love that. So this will probably sit with my patterns until I decide, am I really going to stitch something or not? But it's so good. Oh, also, this one is not getting ever, well, maybe some of it originally, but this is called Seasonal Stitches, American School of Needlework. Oh, this was Seasonal Stitches, booklets 5 through 6. This is Seasonal Stitches, booklets, no, that was S6. This is S9. Okay, look at that carrot basket. This little stockings are so good. And then look at this. Now, you could totally do it not as a wedding sampler. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, here's the lace making book. This is definitely getting destashed. Lace for frame craft. Yeah, I'm not a lace maker. Guys, Scandinavian Christmas charted designs from the Dover Needlework series. This book is good. Okay, so good. Like, just so good. I don't remember, was there a picture in the middle with other models? Yeah, there's more models. This book I'm very excited about. I've never seen this book before or heard about it in any capacity, and I love it. Seascapes 2. Oh, this one I probably will destash because it has a bunch, all the lighthouses are Outer Banks lighthouses. And I've actually been to some of these lighthouses. And so I know somebody who lives in North Carolina or whose family vacations there all the time would probably get more out of it than me. But I haven't fully decided because I did used to go with my friends every summer to the Outer Banks when I lived in Philadelphia. This is called Snow Buddies. Snow Buddies by the Design Connection. Okay, this is crazy. This is a copy of a Leisure Arts magazine that I have destashed before, but it didn't have a cover on it. And there is a picture in it that I think I've actually destashed this twice. But there is a picture in it that I actually like went back and forth on if I wanted to stitch it or not. And then every time I get rid of the magazine, it keeps coming back in my life. So I will show you guys what it's this picture. And now that I have a copy without a cover, I can't really imagine destashing, like that somebody would want to buy it as a destash. So maybe it's a sign that that pattern is supposed to be stitched by me. This is Count on Cappy, O Holy Night. More little ornaments that would look so much better done on a different color and probably finished in something that was a little bit more high quality. And maybe with like, honestly, like a slightly muted or elevated color palette, because the actual designs are good. It's just they're reading a little cheap, if that makes sense. The Cross Stitch Christmas Book by Coates and Clark. It's good, guys. Okay, so you got this nativity, which you could do separate or together. But look at that. And then you've got this with Merry Christmas in different languages. And then I like this. I think I like this part of this design more than this. It's just really good. Are there any other models in it? No, that's the whole book. Okay. 3 more and they're all Precious Moments. And I just destashed, I had 4 Precious Moments books. I destashed 3 of them. And now I have 3 more. And I probably will never stitch these, so these are probably going to go into my de-stash drawer. This is Precious Moments Forever Friends. All right, so you got these guys. And these guys. And okay, so I had Precious Moments 1, 2, 3 and in miniature, and then in miniature and 2 and 3 sold, and then so I still have Precious Moments number 1. But I know I'm never gonna stitch any Precious Moments. I don't really have a big connection to them, so I'll probably just at some point I'll do another de-stash on the channel and on my Instagram, and they'll go there. Book of Precious Moments, Book of Clowns. Yeah. Precious Moments as clowns. Not nightmare fuel at all for me. But I do actually, there's a video on the Precious Moments channel on the Precious Moments Chapel from one of my favorite channels called Fundy Fridays. Fundy Fridays talks a lot about like issues within fundamental Christianity. Like they were interviewed on like a Duggar documentary. So like they usually cover it from that angle. And even they went to the Precious Moments Chapel and were like totally just like smitten and in love, and like, so they're very hard skeptics and fell in love with Precious Moments. So I have no ill will towards Precious Moments. They're just not personally like, you know, I'm more likely to stitch Care Bears or something from my childhood. And I'll link to that video below because it's really good. But they're just not me personally. So I'm not saying anything about them. They're just not my style. But I like that. I enjoy seeing them, and I like that they can be saved for other people. And this is Precious Moments Uncle Sam. Not on it. These are like some big pictures. Okay, this woman looks tired. She looks like, yep, that's what having 3 kids and 2 pets would do to you. Very cute. All right. So thank you for allowing me and Allison to take this little mental health break. And I am glad that we got to go through these, what I think are amazing vintage patterns. Thank you to my brother's girlfriend for grabbing them. And I'm just not saying her name because, like, I don't know if, you know, she wants to be like out on the internet like this. But I am going to link to her business if you live in Oklahoma City and need to order a charcuterie tray or hire a charcuterie food cart. My brother and his girlfriend are opening one, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, so we will be back on Thursday with a tutorial. We will be back next Monday with a floss tube. We will, in 2 weeks, do our most expensive books episode. If you are also having a stressful 2025, please take care of yourself and take the breaks you need to take and do the things that bring you joy, and then do things that make the world better. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe for you know, moments of catharsis like this one. And thanks so much. Bye.